In this video, you will learn about the wonder sweet secret ingredient in my diet that stands out from the others and is actually worth the money. My name is Szymon and welcome back to my channel. Let's go! Usually when I tell my friends and clients about this ingredient, it's the first time they ever hear about it. And no wonder, as it's been introduced to the market quite recently. That wonder ingredient is allulose. It's a rare sugar that actually works for you, not against you. It doesn't contain calories, but it's technically not a sweetener either. Although it works kind of like one, because it does provide you with a sweet taste, but it doesn't work in the same way as stevia, erythritol or xylitol. Allulose is the only sweet ingredient that convinced me to be worth implementing in my diet. Even though I'm using carnivore diet over 90% of time, I also have a family. My wife and son are choosy when it comes to eating, and I've become a pretty good cook because of it. My grandma calls me a chef, and perhaps she's right to some extent. So I use allulose for cakes, pancakes, ice cream and other delicious things I make for my family to allow them to actually stick to the ketogenic way of eating, get as much health benefits as they can, and still enjoy their diet. And for the carnivores out there, if for some reason you feel like you need a break from your diet and you crave sweet taste hard, guess what? Allulose is the one. For a single meal once a week or once a month, or on an odd occasion like a birthday cake for your spouse or kids. It's the one worth making an exception for, as well as the investment. Unlike, in my opinion, sweeteners like aspartame, xylitol, erythritol and others. Recently, my wife and I were hosting our friends we hadn't seen for a long time. They were hooked on my brownie with strawberries. And besides 90% dark chocolate, some strawberries and allulose, I used only animal products. Over 80% of the calories came from animal products like mascarpone, eggs and butter. If you calculate it, technically non-carnivore products were under 20% of calories in that meal. And we ate the darn delicious brownie with no regrets. Now that's the way to live, isn't it? Alright, so let me get to the point. Allulose. It's technically a sugar. The difference is one carbon particle is flipped compared to fructose, and that tiny difference chemically makes all the difference metabolically. Here's the mechanism. Allulose competes with fructose for absorption in your gut. If you're eating both together, allulose actually wins and blocks the fructose from entering your bloodstream. And that matters tremendously because fructose drives uric acid production and visceral fat storage. Therefore, it's extremely inflammatory. Use allulose, stop the fructose, stop the cascade. But allulose goes deeper. It increases your GLP-1, the hormone that meds like Ozempic aim to mimic. And it does so by 8 to 10 times more than any other food or drink we know of. That's not just a low-calorie or no-calorie sugar replacement. It's a powerful metabolic activation. And this hormone, GLP-1, does three things we need. It delays gastric emptying, so hunger drops naturally and you feel fuller for longer. It directly stimulates fat burning at fat cell level because it activates fatty acid oxidation. And it inhibits glucagon, which helps control blood glucose by reducing the amount of glucose entering the bloodstream. Allulose also increases AMPK, the enzyme that accelerates glucose burning in the muscle. So you're controlling both input, less glucose coming in, and output, more glucose being burned for energy. Unlike stevia, monk fruit or aspartame, which are just sugar swaps, allulose is actually a beneficial replacement for sugar. You're getting appetite suppression, fat mobilization, and better glucose control from one delicious ingredient. And now the fun part. You can use it for sweet meals and desserts. Stay 100% in ketosis, not get into trouble caused by sugar cravings, and control your food addiction effectively. For lots of people, it really makes the difference. And again, what about carnivores? If you're 100% strict carnivore and you need to be that strict for health reasons, for example, I understand, admire, and fully support that. But for many girls and guys out there, if you include an egg, mascarpone, heavy cream, and allulose dessert in form of pancakes or ice cream from time to time, it's way better to do it this way than to fall off the wagon and indulge in sugar, undoing effectively all the benefits from your diet you worked for so hard for so long. And I've seen many cases like this. Or if you include, let's say, a bunch of raw honey or 300 grams of carbs from fruit like some former carnivores do, still claiming to be carnivores by the way, especially if you're not highly athletic and burning through glucose effectively, you can easily undo most of the benefits of being on carnivore because you're not in ketosis anymore. Also, if you indulge in fructose, that's one of the most so-called carnivore mistakes you can do. So I'm confident it's way better to add some allulose here and there from time to time if you feel you need some sweet taste. And for regular keto guys and gals, well, it's not a problem at all. Just don't make every single meal sweet, okay? You still need to base your diet on meat, eggs, fish, and other whole animal foods. Don't forget that. To sum up, allulose is a rare, I would say, anti-sweetener that actually does something good for your metabolism. Not just replaces sugar with some damage limitation and some nasty side effects like other sweeteners. If you need an ingredient like this to never crave candy anymore and stick to your metabolically sound diet to heal, optimize, and thrive, well, you just found it. And that would be it for this one. Please let me know down in the comments what is your experience with sweeteners and if you have already tried allulose. Also, as always, feel free to ask me questions. And if you value what I'm doing, please consider subscribing to my channel, liking this video, exploring others, and turning on the notifications button. That would be highly appreciated. For now, thank you so much for watching. My name is Szymon, and I wish you a wonderful day. See you in the next one, and stay healthy.